Hello, Michael. Thanks for joining.
Hey, sorry about that. I had to drop off my family member, my cousin, and got stuck in traffic.
All right, no problem. I think I'm borrowing RPT's Zoom account, so we can go more than 40 minutes if we have to. Let's see. Be nice to get somebody from San Antonio. Lisa is not replying to me.
I am really sorry about earlier. If I could have left, I would have. I couldn't even go to the bathroom. So I do apologize for messing that up earlier. I know we had everybody on.
All right, it's always a challenge to try to get everybody together. But we had a good discussion. So I guess while we wait for Elisa Michael, I did talk to Donna Davison, who is the RPT attorney for campaign finance. And she said that we definitely can't give to federal candidates. We could potentially give to statewide candidates if we report it, and also if we keep any corporate donations separate from individual donations. So do we keep track of corporate donations separately from in our accounts in any way?
I don't know what she means by keeping track of corporate, because every donation that goes into our account and then want to report it, it goes on line by line. So every line is allocated from somewhere. So the TEC knows exactly where they're coming from.
Yeah. So the way she explained it is, I know we only have one bank account, and we could do a sub account or a virtual account. So let's say you kept track of it in a spreadsheet or in Quicken, and virtually you would say, oh, of our bank account that has 15,000, 10,000 was corporate and 5,000 was individual. We could technically take the money from the 5,000 and give that to individuals without any issue. But we have to keep track of it either physically a separate account.
You have to keep separate account.
Or you do it in a software program of some sort.
I see.
Yeah.
So technically, probably the easiest way to do it is probably separate accounts. I think that's how they do it in the federal level.
Yeah, generally, I know that's how our county party does it. Is our county has 3 accounts, a corporate and a state and another one for I'm not sure why.
Right.
But
there's one for election.
Okay.
Primary election.
All right. So it's safe to say right now. Well, the other thing is we do receive some corporate donations, right? When we do our fundraiser, companies.
Well, the last time we received any corporate donation was when we did our fundraiser, and that was 2 years ago.
Right, and then the rest is usually just the membership dues.
Just the dues.
All right. Well, since it's commingled, then we probably should just be on the safe side and just not do it this year until we set up a separate account for it.
Yes, I agree.
Okay, so let's see here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if we agree to accept proxies for James Tang and Zoe Wang, that would be 2 more. They verbally wanted to give Jennifer Knetsik to be their proxy. So that would give 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That would be 7, which is what we need, is 7 people. our bylaws doesn't say that we can do proxies, so we as a board can decide. Of course, it'd be nice to have a quorum of the board to decide to accept the proxies before the fact of the matter. What do we think? The survey that I sent out, we got 6 responses, and 2/3 say yes, and 1/3 says maybe. Let's see, I can share my screen.
For what? Oh, for proxy?
Or to allow proxy, yeah. So let me show you this.
Or do we do a recorded vote? Because if it's a recorded vote, technically, I guess we could print out the email and that would be the proxy, but it really needs to be added in our bylaws
Yeah,
if that's what we're gonna do from now on.
So here's a survey. If you guys haven't done it, please do it. We got 6 responses. Most of you guys said 7 o'clock, so we're meeting at 7. For the amount of money we want to give, 1/3 said 4,000 or more, 1/3 said 5,000 or more, and 1/3 said 3,000 more. Do you think Tara should give direct contribution to candidates? We're split 50-50. Do you think Tara should pay for ads directly instead of direct contributions? 83% say yes, 1 says no. And then I just put in the list of people that Jennifer had put on, and we got votes for JC Jenton, Lily Trong, full page ad in the Vietnamese newspaper, Korean newspaper, Melinda Morris, Jim Wright, and should Tara fund local campaigns? We got 1 vote in chapters. We got a few votes there. And so the question about the proxies seems like mostly in agreement, and 2 people would like to have more information.
I think, and this is just my opinion, but if we're going to give a big chunk of money to all of the individual groups, I think we should do a set amount to each one. And maybe from now on, we could do it right after our fundraiser. I think we should, like, I don't know what you guys have done in the past, but maybe like 70%, or just kind of see, if you divide it between all of the chapters, give them like 60% if we clear enough money, right? So then they can kind of have the freedom to build and get back to us on what they spent the money on, and what they found successful. But other than that, definitely,
I'm not following you completely. So
if we're going to give to all of the different chapters, I think we should give a portion, because you had mentioned before that in past years, when you guys had a big fundraiser, you then turned around and put the money back into chapters. So
yeah.
That really should happen after the fundraiser, and there should be like a set amount. We're going to give this much. We're going to have.
Well, yeah. So we did do that at the last fundraiser. We gave each chapter a certain percentage, but we gave Dallas a bigger percentage because it was hosted there. And then each of the other chapters got a smaller portion. I don't remember the exact breakout, but I want to say Dallas had like 4,000 or 5,000, and then the chapters might have gotten $1,000, something.
1,000 each.
Yeah, 1,000 each. Okay.
We were spending, and up to $1,000 the state Tara was matching.
Right. Yeah. And we decided that afterward. But the host city generally will get the bulk of that.
Does the host city pay for the pay for the fundraiser, or does the fundraiser come out of TARA funds?
It should come out
Tara
of,
funds.
yeah.
Okay, then
The
I think
profit-
this year, everybody should get the same, but that, we can talk
So-
about that later.
We'll talk about that later.
when we did the just clarification, when we did the fundraiser last time, it did come out with tariff funds. However, the host city organizes the fundraiser. Therefore, when the final tally came in, we split the proceeds from
totally get
the
it.
Profit.
yeah.
The profit
Yeah.
was split
Yeah, the profit is split.
because they do all the work. Host city does
Yep.
all the work.
Yeah, the
So
host city
we
does the work.
don't plan the fundraiser like as a board. We just let the host city take it and run with it.
Well, what the host city does is they form a fundraising committee, and then the fundraising committee is the one that the host committee that does the whole work and organizing it for the state.
What is our goal last year? Just wondering.
What was our what? Or,
Fundraising goal for the
well,
event.
we didn't have one this year because of the COVID. So the last one we had was in 2018, in February or January 2018 in Dallas. So yeah, we should have had one this year, and yeah, it just didn't happen because of
We do it every other year.
yeah.
We do it
Which,
every other
you know,
year.
might work out better to have it next year during session.
Yep.
And you know, in Austin, because
I think our goal should be at least $65,000. I think we've got to go big. It's going to be in Austin. It's going to be a crazy session. We could get, I mean, if we lined it out sooner than later, we could get some really good speakers. And it might sound crazy, but I think we set our sights high, right?
yeah, no, definitely. You know, take advantage of being in session, and you know, we should be able to get a lot of sponsorships. So
Just
the question is,
another
you know,
point
how
to
do we
consider. Oh, sorry.
decide to do it?
Just as a point to consider, every year around June or July, doesn't the Capitol have an Asian American Day that they do?
They
Yes.
probably do, which I love, but the only thing is fundraising is really dries up in the summer.
Yes.
No, when
There's nobody at the Capitol.
yeah, so when they're in session, there is a Chamber of Commerce event, you know, the Asian Chamber of Commerce event, and I went to it 2 sessions ago, and they have that in February, right before the session actually gets started, where it's kind of quiet and a good time to meet. But yeah, they do that every 2 years.
They do the Asian American Day with
Yep.
all the 3 Asian American representatives hosting it.
Okay.
Oh, well, yeah, that's the other event is Angie Chin Button usually will do an Asian American Day towards the end of the session. I was thinking of another event with the chamber.
Yeah, there are 2.
Yeah.
Yes, realtors come there at that time.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are a couple of them, right?
Well, it looks like we're not going to have a quorum. I guess I'm going to say, let's just talk about what we want to do, and we'll just have to do it in email, and hopefully we can get a quorum of people responding to an email poll like the one I set out. So we just need to decide what the motions to vote on are, and I'll send out the form. So I think the first thing we need to consider is the overall budget for this. You can see my screen. So a third of us that have responded said they had no problem with 5,000. A third said 4,000, and a third said 3,000. I would like to just
Go with 4,000.
Everybody okay with just saying 4,000?
Yes.
Yes.
So I voted for no more than 3,000, but I'll compromise on the 4,000. I was And the reason for that is because I want to make sure that we have leeway going to next year, especially if we're going to start planning for another fundraiser.
Yes.
I voted for 5,000 because I know how desperate the campaigns need it right now. And my thinking was we should be pulling in at least 25 to 35% of our fundraising funds before they even get there, if not 50. So we should really like plan that out well, and we should be okay. But 4,000, if that's what everybody wants.
I think that's a good compromise. We don't have a lot of money, and so we should try to keep some reserves in there. So I'll ask everybody if they agree with 4,000. If they, you could always say no, and then we can come back and change it. So let's just ask if everyone's okay with $4,000.
Yes.
Okay, as far as direct contribution to candidates, as our attorney said, it is permissible if we keep corporate money in a separate account. It could be virtually separate, but it has to be separate. Talking to Michael, it sounds like it is not. We just have one bank account where we commingle all of our funds. So I would strongly suggest that we don't do corp or direct contributions at this time. And perhaps in the future, if we do want to do that, we either keep the accounting of the funds, corporate funds separate, or we set up another account just to.
I think the safest is setting up a separate account and you just start the accounting on the date you open that checking account. Because if the TEC comes back, I just want it, it needs to be super clean. But I do think at some point we need to give to candidates because it's so much easier on us. Like it's tenfold easier,
Yeah.
Right. But not this cycle.
Agreed.
Okay, so if we're not going to give direct, then who do we want to give to? Do we want to give to the chapters, or do we want to give to ourselves and we just pay for some of these ads? So I'm gonna lean on you, Jennifer. What you think is the best?
It's really what the thing I like about giving it to the chapters is because I do feel like North Texas, San Antonio, Austin, you guys would each actually get to turn around and give this to a race that's that's really winnable. We need it to go to races, maybe a Texas House race that's winnable, because we are in a war right now. And so anything that can get them over the edge, I think they remember the chapter, and that's a really good thing, right? So I think for this once, I would be totally okay with that. But I do think it would be, if we have any money, that's 3 chapters, right?
Well,
We have 4 chapters.
We have San Antonio too, but my feeling is they're not too active, but maybe if they got some money, they might get a little more active.
Yes.
And we do need to think about who's going to do the work. I mean, so we don't have to do equal amounts. If somebody's going to do more of the work, then they should get more of the money. I could tell you in Austin, we don't have a lot of really winnable races. It looks like so. We don't want to waste.
McCall's the only one in Austin. Or you can do the city races.
I just wouldn't waste on I think we need to think about that in the future, nonpartisan. I always like that, but there's a case for that. So and honestly, we don't need to give it to Houston because Houston has already given 35,000. So I would prefer it go to the chapters that have not had a chance to give yet. And I'm guessing they haven't given because they don't have a lot of money.
Correct. That's
just
us in Austin.
Just a information for everybody. We've had this issue before, and I talked to a friend of mine who he used to handle the treasury for North Texas. In regards to our PAC, we are state GPAC. We cannot give anything to local candidates.
Okay.
So to do that, we have to make a separate PAC. just specifically for, because there's a specific pack for local candidates, because they're nonpartisan.
But you can give to state house races
Yes.
in
Well,
North Texas, right?
not. Well, we can't give. I don't know if we could. I don't think we could give directly to house races, but we could support them. We could endorse them. We just can't give.
I think that this is a really good
So-
conversation. I think we needed to understand how all of this is done. But it looks like we need to just kind of move forward doing the work, and maybe some of these ads sound like the easiest if I can call tomorrow morning and get some firm answers on the Vietnamese, because I think the Vietnamese one, you're going to get a lot more for your buck, bang for your buck, in areas we really need that done. I have a personal relationship with the Korean papers, and so I know that one more, because I've been working in that community, would be really strong, but I also would prefer it to help grow our Vietnamese membership more than so that's up to y'all.
I actually like your idea with the Korean and the Vietnamese papers. I also like your graphic that you made for the judges. So I think that's actually perfect, because he has a logo in it.
Well, and it was easy. I'll do a fancier one for the Vietnamese, because I feel like the Vietnamese, I have a sneaking suspicion they are not statewide like the Koreans. So I know that there's like some Houston papers that that Lily knows that she can help me on the price, right? But the only thing is PACs can't coordinate with candidates. So I will just ask for her the phone number, and I will wear a different hat, and then I will call them myself. Does that make sense? Or get someone that speaks Vietnamese with me on the phone. I think that that's the safest for us. And I can get you guys hard numbers, but I'd like to get a contact in Dallas, in San Antonio, Austin, for a Vietnamese paper, if there is one.
Okay, I have one here in Dallas.
Perfect.
Because
the ones in the other parts of the state, we should either do like just the judges on that, or we can do like half page of the judges and then like really push TARC, and like, do you want to run? Join us, or something like that. Do you guys like that direction?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, that's
And then
okay.
I think the Facebook ads, because since we're doing the papers, and we have free graphics, so that's good. And then the papers, what I like about it is it's not going to be over a couple thousand, right? I don't even think it gets to 2,000 with the papers. If 560 was the budget for the Koreans, is there a Filipino paper in Dallas?
No, not in Dallas.
Do you know one that hits anywhere in the state, or a website?
I do not.
Okay, just wondering. I'm just trying to understand different areas.
Yeah,
So
I don't think Filipinos are concentrated enough in Texas to be able to make a paper.
So we could do Vietnamese and Chinese. We probably don't want to. We could probably just do. I would do more money for the Vietnamese papers, but I can just price that out. And then JJ Clements, I could find out just what's one paper that's Chinese that has the most reach across the state. What do you think about that?
Yeah,
Sounds good.
One, yeah.
Sounds good.
Okay, and then Anthony, I love your idea. So our page is not a political ad, right? So I may be able to run those on my back end, but can you run them from the state page?
I think anybody has admin, so I thought I made you admin, so you should be able to boost any kind of post on
Perfect.
there.
Okay.
And if you're verified with them, you should be able to do that. So they will require a credit card or PayPal account, I think. So I don't know if we have one for our account that you could just charge to, or you charge to your own and then get reimbursed. But yeah, you should be able to do that on our.
either way, but what do y'all think of this? Instead of maybe doing like too many ads, I was thinking we should get likes, right? I think likes are good. Anybody else have any suggestions?
Well, I was gonna suggest that we do have our video that we did for the
Yes.
convention. So it's just 30 seconds. It says that we're all Republicans, and if nothing else, yeah, we just get people to like our page so that as we post content in the future or different events, they'll get notified. So
And I also need to send y'all. There needs to be more of a structure, I feel like, on the Facebook page, but I had time to write it down and I gave it to the SRAC. I'll send you guys that to see if you still, if everybody likes that. It was pretty good. I just think that some consistency, I think, would build the page.
yeah, well, we need to get in a better habit of all of the chapters posting their meeting. Of course, this
Yes.
year was, not the best for meetings, but when I heard about them, TARC had some Zoom meetings. I tried to post them on there. We did have some meetings in Austin with different groups and candidate forums, and everybody has to go and just post it to the page. And if there's not an admin in each chapter, let me know and I can assign whomever. But
Also, too, if anybody just wants to send it to our group text and put the text, if you're at an event or something's going on crazy, I mean, I can do that easily, right? I could do that for us. So, I mean, it's either way. But I think that's a good idea.
okay, all right.
All right, so I will get you guys the prices for the Vietnamese papers statewide. I'm going to get one Chinese paper that has the most traction. And then after I get those prices, I'll put all three down because you have Korean papers for $560, I believe, or $590. And then whatever's left over, I say we use part of it on Facebook, but I have a feeling we're going to have too much left over. So we just put it back in the bank.
Yeah, that's fine. So to make it
Fine.
official, I'll send out another survey for the board to approve up to $4,000, and that we will be doing ads in Vietnamese papers, Chinese papers, and Facebook ads to increase our
And Korean
and
paper.
the Korean paper.
Korean papers. Okay, and so for those ads, and we can just pay for that.
Why don't we do why don't I do one Indo-American one as well? I would love to do that. Or and we could put maybe let me think about that graphic, but what would y'all think about that?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
In Houston, right? You have a newspaper there.
That's what I was thinking. Do you think
Right.
that's the best place for that?
Yeah, you
Yes.
fill the football stadium of Indians in Houston. So
Oh yeah.
okay,
Perfect.
right. So Jennifer, you're going to work with these different newspapers. You give them the ad, and then we can get them paid out of Terra funds.
Okay, I will just have them invoice Tara. I'll just be the attention to, and then I will forward it over and you guys can just cut the check. And if I run into something, I'll just text the team and just say, hey, whatever, but we should be good.
Okay.
The Korean
Is
ones,
that
I
okay,
know for sure, just
Michael?
invoice.
Okay.
Michael, that's okay with you to
I'm okay.
cut the check?
I'm okay. As soon as we make the decision, just send the invoice to me and who to send the check to.
Okay.
Sounds good, boss.
Okay. All right. I'll get.
Okay.
Any
Thanks,
other-
team.
All right,
Sorry
thank you,
about
everybody. No problem. Thank you, Jennifer, for everything.
Bye.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye.
Right.
Bye.